did you come up with the idea of the StAIRilizer?
It was in March of 2020, and I was watching the news, and they had a story about a doctor that had had a tuberculosis clinic in New England in the 1970s. He had used UVC lighting technology inside of his clinic to protect his patients and staff. He felt like through UVC energy that no one had ever contracted disease while inside of his clinic. So I went online to see what I could find. I think I found the system similar to what he had, but it was very commercial looking with stainless steel boxes that needed to be mounted up near my ceiling, and my ceilings weren't tall enough to make that work anyway. Some other UVC lighting options that I looked at were where you just put a bulb in the middle of the room and turn it on and leave for a few hours. The problem with that system is that it doesn't work in any of the shaded areas, so those aren't disinfected. Several people had also complained that it had damaged their plants and furniture, and neither of those options were good for me.
Were you apprehensive when you put the StAIRilizer in your home?
I knew because I had tested the power of the bulbs. I knew that I was going to be killing virus and bacteria that went through the dosing chamber. What I was unsure of was the amount of collateral damage that might happen around the box. So I brought the box up, I put plants on top of it and in front of it and on both ends. I only ran it at night after everybody had gone to bed and we had put our pets away. Every morning before anyone got up, I would go and turn it off and check the plants to see how they were doing. After 3 or 4 weeks and no noticeable damage to the plants, I'd have started running it 24 hours a day and 7 days a week.
After the first prototype, how many alterations did you make?
The first box I used wasn't very pretty, and I knew I could do better. It was probably about 20 to 25 different design changes and variations later, at least 10 to 12 UVC light bulbs, trying to find the right size and power for the box that I was building. And I also needed a fan that would run quietly. I found the fan that you put in high-end audio and video systems so you know that it runs quietly. It doses 23 cubic feet of air a minute through the dosing chamber. This doesn't sound like much, but in a 10-hour period, it will do the cubic feet of a 1,700 square foot house with an 8-foot ceiling.
Who do you see as the ideal person who should buy a StAIRilizer?
I see myself as the ideal customer for a StAIRilizer. I don't have thousands of dollars to have a system professionally and permanently installed, and the other options on the internet that I looked at just didn't fit my needs. Every day I need to go to work, I need to leave the house for groceries and household essentials. When I do leave the house, I always wear a mask, I'm constantly sterilizing my hands, and I'm very careful with where I go and what I do. At the end of the day, I want to be able to come home, wash my hands, and take my mask off, and know that I am not infecting other people at my house.